Since this week we've been looking at the causes of divorce, and we still want to dig deeper to know more of these causes. And here with me today is Pastor Ejiro Okwewe of Living Faith Church OU. So please want to tap from your wealth of wisdom. Can you tell us what divorce is all about?
First of all, I want to appreciate you for giving us this privilege to bring our little knowledge and experience into this wonderful topic that is so much ravaging all human sectors these days, no matter the country, no matter the tribe. And I will give light on this topic on two perspectives. The meaning of divorce, one from the legal angle, then two from my background as a pastor, the spiritual angle. So the legal angle of divorce is what is divorce is. Divorce is the legally dissolution of a civil marriage between two married couples. That is the legal aspect. Then from the spiritual aspect of divorce, the meaning of the word divorce, according to the book of Matthew chapter 5 verse 31, is apostasium, which means to defect. So it means when two people are married, one decide to do what? Defect. That is his spiritual meaning of divorce. One defecting for what they have originally agreed to do. So when one is defecting from what they have agreed to do, it means that divorce are what taking place in the spiritual context.
When you leave
the original purpose of marriage, it means
defected.
You have defected.
Okay.
So we can be say this person is a defector.
Is a defector. Okay, I've learned one today. All right. So, sir, please, what are the signals on red lights to divorce?
Yeah. Yes, like I said, there are a lot of red lights to divorce, but we just take some few. But the most common one, which is central to all others, is basically lack of communication. Yes. Okay. Not just communication, but lack of effective communication. Because communication is said to be effective when both parties understand themselves. So when communication is missing, it means that there is a signal already that divorce is looming. So let's just give an example for people that are married to know. Maybe you might be undergoing it and you just felt, let me ignore it. One of the core purpose, like I said, is lack of communication. And how does it start? As a couple, maybe your husband goes to work and as he's coming back, he just drop his suitcase, remove his shoe, go straight to the room, got his shower, come back, take his dinner. Honey, how was your day today? Fine. How was this? Fine. He goes to bed. The spouse might think he's tired. But before you know, that it continues for days moving to weeks moving to months. So for wisdom to be at play, you should know that is a red light already, because the communication channel is what? Closed. Gradually getting close and tightening. So it's already a red light. Every other divorce signal are tied to lack of communication. Go and check, ask anyone that have divorced. If they can reflect back, ask them. It starts from lack of communication. When there's a gap in communication, it widens the couple. Before you know, the only alternative they want to give themselves is because with communication, there's nothing you cannot resolve. So effective communication is important, but lack of communication is the number one red light to divorce. Then every other thing can come in. There's a red light of unfaithfulness. There's a red light of unfaithfulness. There's a red light of abuses in marriage. physical and emotional abuse. But that's why we put the caveat there, lack of communication. Because unfaithfulness is because we are not communicating well. For you to be unfaithful to somebody is because you have seen something that you felt is better than this one. Let me just try it. But once you communicate well, you know that there's nothing better in another person than the one that you have.
Of course. Okay, so are you telling us that for a marriage to work, there must be effective communication?
Exactly. Because as blood is to flesh, to body, that is how communication is to marriage. Are you getting me? As oxygen is to human, that is how communication is to marriage. So communication is the life wire, is the blood, is the oxygen of every marriage. So when you see effective communication, there will never be room for what it was.
So, please, my next question is, why are people blind to see when divorce is moving?
Beautiful. A lot of people are blind. I tell people most time that divorce does not just start the day the quarrel is loud. There were already signal which we talked about. And that signal, most times, people ignore it. And the question you ask now, why people are blinded to it, is because most times, many spouses are blinded by emotion, especially the female folks, because they don't tell themselves the truth. If you are a woman, the day you get pregnant, you know. You don't know the day you know the period. So the day the evil of divorce started emanating, they know. But most times they feel less is something that will pass with time. It will just fizzle out. But I tell people at times that the same sun that met the eyes is the same sun that caked the path. So what you do is, the moment you see the signal, start to take responsibility.
Start talking.
To talk. To push. So that you can avoid that crack as it's emanating from lack of communication. So many people are blinded to it. They just refuse to assume it will pass. Nothing works on its own. Everything you see working is because people are doing something.
Yes, you must be involved.
Yes, people are responsible.
Yeah. So marriage is actually a work. A ministry that people must put in a lot of work in.
Make proof of it. Yes. Wow. Because another context of marriage is an assignment. When a pupil is given an assignment to do, what do? You put in work to bring a solution. Because marriage is actually bettered by God to bring solution to mankind. I tell people most times that the armed robber you are seeing there is somebody's child. The kidnapper you are seeing there is somebody's uncle, is somebody's parent. But what culminated to them being like that is because marriage has failed. The assignment of marriage has failed.
So there's something you said. Marriage is spiritual
assignment,
and God is spiritual. God is not human.
No.
So, and what you mean to say is that marriage should not be handled in a physical
way
or in a human way.
No,
it must be a spiritual.
Yes, in our definition, my definition, I tell people, marriage is not a cultural thing.
Yeah.
Marriage is not a traditional thing. Marriage is a spiritual assignment. Because why? According to the Bible, where we belong, in the book of John chapter 6, the Bible says God is a spirit. And they that want to worship and walk with him must be what? They must do that in spirit and in what? Truth. So once you miss that concept and that idea, the marriage is already heading to divorce. So the cultural and the traditional way cannot hold it, because they are not the author. They are not the originator of the concept of marriage. So that is why we advise most couples that give marriage first of all spiritual attention for it to be progressive and to be efficient. There's something we also call 2F and 2C in the marriage calendar. That when a marriage is successful, the 2F is the family is successful. One of the F is the family is successful. The second F is the future is also what? Successful. Then the 2C is when a marriage is working. Number one of the C is the community is working. Another C again is the country is working. A lot of people question politicians all these things today. Do you know why you question them? We give them money and they do things, and we allow them to that they don't do things. It's because there's a failed marriage.
Of course. The home
front. Yes. So when the home front fails, the country fails. So the other C there again is the church. Look at any church where you see stability and growth. Go and find out marriage, the marital life of the members are stable. So one C is for the church, the other C is for the country or the community.
So what you're saying is that solving the problem or problems in marriage is solving the problem of humanity.
Beautiful. It's solving the problem of humanity. Like we said, marriage is the idea of God, which is actually the basic truth. Because according to Genesis 1:28, the purpose of marriage is for fruitfulness, is for multiplication, is for replenishment, is to subdue negative forces and to dominate. So once the marriage is under that premise, have you not solved the problem of humanity?
Yes.
So that is it. So once you can solve the issues surrounding marriages, families are well settled, and each of the purpose that God has for them can be what? Fulfilled.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So the next question is, do upbringing or parental influence affect or contribute to failure in marriage?
Yes, 100% yes. But when a man decides, because decision is what determines the destiny of a man, so it is 100% correct. But in between, the individual can decide to break from that circle. That's why I said decision. So he can decide to break from that circle. So once he breaks from that circle, the influence of parental upbringing will no longer have effect, because when he has broken, he has still reasoning through seminars, through counseling, through books and tapes, where he acquires some other knowledge. Those knowledge have helped him to make a refined decision that can make him the man he needs to be, and the influence of his parents will no longer take a hold on him. But 100% parental influence can affect one's marriage.
It can lead to divorce.
It can lead to divorce.
All right.
Yes.
Can you tell us how to prevent this marriage failure? How to prevent divorce?
Yes. Very simple way. It looks simple. The reason why it's simple, because it is the truth. Most time, truth are not difficult. The simplicity of the truth makes people ignore it. One of the key way to actually arrest divorce in marriage is just in the book of Galatians. Galatians chapter 5. Just go to verse 22, the fruit of the Spirit. There are 9 fruits of the Spirit in that place that Bible listed for us. But the umbrella by which the other 8 reside is in love. In the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 13, read from verse 1. The Bible says, love forgiveth all evil. It does not abhor hatred. It conquers. So once you can carry that umbrella of love, if you see where there's lack of communication, the Bible says, speaketh the truth. Love does not stay silent. So wherever love see something that is not going well, he say it. He does not assume. So the cheapest way to conquer divorce is by embracing love in all its capacity. Because inside of love there is temperance. Inside of love there is patience. Inside of love there is endurance. Inside of love there is long suffering. Inside of love there is goodness.
There's forgiveness.
There's forgiveness. So all this virtue put together, embodied in love, once you exhibit it in your marriage, there's no room
For
for
divorce.
divorce. It helps to shield the marriage. Is the shield to the marriage. So that's why we use that scripture to protest it. First Corinthians 13, from verse 1 down to 6, then Galatians 5, verse 22.
Thank you so much, sir. God bless you for having me here.
Thank you very much.
And when we started, I said I wanted to tap on your wealth of wisdom. So thank you so much for saving some impending divorce and restoring some marriages that are about to break. Thank you so much. God
It's a
bless you.
privilege. I appreciate it. Thank you for giving us the opportunity. And we know that what God has used us to say today, like you said, will bring positive change to marriages. I appreciate it.
I hope you all learned how to save your marriages. Please save your marriage. Don't divorce down your spouse. Don't divorce your spouse, and God will bless you.